In the last video, we learned about arrays. And in this video, I want to talk about another data type in Java, which is string. First, we will talk about what is a string, how to create a string, and then I will show you some of the frequently used methods for string operations. So without further ado, let's get started. Right here you can see I have created a new project called strings. So let's first talk about what is a string. A string is basically a sequence of characters. So remember how we used to define a character using the char data type, right? We use char and name of the variable and the equals, and we use single quotes, and inside of quotes is the value of the character, right? We can say is equal to 2. And for string, we don't use single quotes, we use double quotes. So if we want to define a string, we can do like this. Let's do this inside of our main method. So I would say string, which is capital S, and then the name of the string I would say is S1 and it equals, and double quotes is ABC, so it's a sequence of characters and surrounded by double quotes. That's how we define a string. But this is not how we usually initialize strings, because string, not like any other data types we have talked about, is not a primitive data type. It is an object. So in order to initialize an object, we need to use the keyword new. So let's see how to do that. So instead of just simply giving it a value, what I wanted to do is to use new, and then I'll say string, capital S, and inside of the parentheses, I'll give it the new value. So like this. And this way, we successfully initialize the new string object, which name is S1 and has the value of ABC. So let's define another string. Let's call it S2 and say it is also new string, give a value of XYZ. Okay? This is how we initialize strings. Next, I want to talk about some of the frequently used method for string operations. So first things first, let's see how to get the total number of characters in a string. So return the total number of characters in a string. And in order to do that, we're going to use the length method. So s1 dot length, s1 is ABC, and let's run this. We should get 3. So there are 3 characters in string s1, and that's how we get the length of the string. Next, let's take a look at how to compare 2 strings to see if they have the same value. So in order to do that, compare 2 strings. We're going to use the dot equal method. So first let's change S2 to have the same value as S1, and then let's compare them. So println S1 dot equals S2, and let's see. It is true because S1 and S2 have the same value. Just don't use double equal sign to compare strings. Just remember that. So let me show you if I use double equal sign on string, what will happen. If I do this and I run this, it will give me false because strings are not primitive data types. Just remember this. You cannot use a double equal sign to compare two objects. Okay, it will give you false because S1 and S2, even though they have the same value, they're different objects, right? Just like, you know, two people, they have the same name, but they're different person. Okay, so in order to compare only the value of a string, use equals method. So let's change it back to equals. And next, let's take a look at how to concatenate two strings. So concatenate strings. And in order to concatenate strings, we're going to use the .concat method. So println s1 dot concat s2. This will concat s1 after this will concat s2 after s1. So let's run this, and we got ABC, ABC. So there's another way to concat strings, which is to use the plus sign. Let me show you that. Dot out dot println s1 plus s2. Let's comment out the first one, and let's run it. We also got ABC, ABC. So we can use both the concat and plus sign to concat two strings. But the differences are the plus sign can, you know, not only can work with strings, it can work with other data types as well. So let me show you. If I have, you know, an integer n, which is 1, 2, 3, and I can concatenate s1 with n. So let's take a look. Let's run this, and we got ABC 1, 2, 3. So what plus sign does is that it will convert the last parameter and convert it to string, and then concat it to s1. So concat can only work with string, but plus sign can work with other data types as well. Let's take a look at next one. Next method is to get a single character, return a single character from the string. So we retrieve a single character using its index. So println s1, we want the second character, so dot char at. Inside of char at, we give it the index that we want to retrieve. In this case, we give it 1. Let's run this. We will get B. That's because just like array, index always start at 0. In strings, index also start at 0. So 0 is A, and index 1 is B. Oops. So this is how we get a single character. If I say 0, I should get A, right? So that's how we get the character. And we can also get the index of a character in an array, in a string. So for that, let's define a new string. String s3 equals new string for world, and then so I want to get the index of the L. Okay, for that I can say to, you know, say return the index of a character or a substring. Okay, we can retrieve the substring or a character's index. Let's see how to do that. So system.out.println s3 dot index of L. Let's first see how to get the index of the L. Let's run this, and it gave us 2. notice that we have 3L in our string, right? But we only get 2 because the index of method will only return the first occurrence of the given character. So instead, I should say return index of the first occurrence of a character or a substring. And if this is for character. If I want to get a index of the substring, I should say ORL give us this, right? So let's run this. It should give us 8. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? So O start at 8, so give us 8. And next, we have so we can get first occurrence, we can get the last occurrence as well. So index of a character or a substring. So let's see, system.out.println at 3 dot last index of L. This time we should get the last L. Okay, and let's see, it is, sorry, let's comment out this and run it. It is 10, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the last L is at index 10, which is correct. And if I do ORL, it will give us this. Sorry, this should be double quotes, right? ORL should give us the index of O, okay, the starting character, which is 8. That is correct. Okay. Next, let's take a look at how to verify if a string is empty or not. So let's see. First, let's comment out this, and let's see. See if a string is empty. Okay, so let's define a new string. S4 equals new string. Okay, and nothing. And let's output system.out.println s4.isEmpty. It should give us true because there's nothing inside of the double quotes, so it is true. And there is another method. So if I define another string s5 equals new string, this time instead of giving nothing, I'll give it some white spaces. And let's try this. So system.out.println s5.isEmpty. Let's comment out this. Let's see if s5 is empty. So no, false, because s5 is not empty. S5 has a bunch of white spaces, but if we want to know if S5 has only white spaces, what we can do is to use the is blank method. So let's run this, and this time we'll get true because is empty will return true only if the string contains nothing at all, and is blank will return true if the string has nothing or only white spaces. So return true if the string is empty or contains only white spaces. Okay, so that's that. Next we have split. So split a string around a given string. So say I have a new string, right, S6, and it is a phone number 999-0000. Okay, and I want to get rid of the dash and just getting the numbers. And for that, we can use the split method. And the split method will return an array of strings. Okay, so in order to do that, I'm going to define an array of strings. So strings equals s6.split, and we're going to have inside of that, we're going to have the dash. And after that, let's comment out this, and let's loop through the strings array and output everything. So for I equals 0, I less than strings dot length I plus plus, right? And let's output system.out.println strings and then I. Okay, let's see if we get 888, 999, and 0000. So let's run, and there we go. We got everything except for the dash. So we split the string around the dash, right? Next, we have a convert method. So we can convert a string into a char array. So in order to do that, let's convert at 3. Let's convert our hello world into a character array. So let's first define a character array. Characters equals s3 3.2 char array. And now we have at 3 inside of characters. Let's take a look. So let's copy this for loop down here, and let's comment this. And now instead of using strings, let's use this characters, and this is characters. So let's see if we got hello world. Yeah, we got hello world is split into a character array. Okay, that's how we convert a string into a characters array. And we can also convert a string, we can also convert other data types into a string. So in order to do that, convert other data type into a string. So in order to do that, let's first define an integer. Okay, so int m equals 9876, and if I want to convert an m into a string, what I wanted to do is to call the value of method. So system.out.println capital string dot value of m, and this will give us 9876 in the format of a string. Okay, let's run this. Let's comment this out, but we can see we got our values. But anyway, we need to comment that out, and let's run this. We should get this, but in a string format. Okay, and we can do this, not only on integers. We can use this on, char, right, and char array, and boolean as well, double and float, and also long. So we can use all this data type and convert it into string using the value of method. So next, we have to convert the string into all uppercase or all lowercase. So convert into all upper or lower case. So the method is very straightforward. We're also going to use the hello world string. So system.out.println s3.2 uppercase. And let's comment out this and let's run it. Sorry, we should get hello world in uppercase, all in uppercase. And if I do system.out.println s3.2 lowercase, comment this out, we should have the all lowercase hello world. So yeah, that's it. I think that's like all the frequently used method for string manipulations, and hopefully you guys learned something from this tutorial, and thanks for watching. See you guys next time.